William Golding considered the idea of writing about what one knows as somewhat inaccurate. He considered that a lot of the fun of writing was exploring precisely the things that you don't think you can do. After all, he had never been drowned, and he had never been flung upon a rock, never been to hell, in so many words. Writing is not reportage, but imagination, he would say. Therefore, I don't think you ever write about what you know about. You write about what you guess about and what you imagine about. This is one way of doing it. And the inspiration for Lord of the Flies came from reading to David and Judy at bedtime. The books they read, Treasure Island, Coral Island, The Swiss Family Robinson, were, as stated in the names of said books, often about islands. And one winter evening, after they had put the children to bed and after reading yet another of these books, William and Anne were sitting by the fire in what he would refer to as a state of complete parental exhaustion. Now, he expressed to his wife how tired he was of bad writing and how he was playing with the idea of writing a book about boys on an island to see if he couldn't make a more realistic presentation of what would happen to them. Well, Anne thought it seemed like a great idea, and so he immediately grabbed a piece of paper and started working on the story. Now, concerning how he works out the story, he replied to an interviewer that he plans his novels from the beginning to end before he starts on a draft. Every detail is well thought out, almost until the last flick of an eyelid, he would say. Now, he compared his method to how a painter visualizes what he intends on creating and then makes it happen with strokes of a brush. Well, likewise, he would plan out, visualize, if you will, the structure of the story and write it as such. A Lord of the Flies arrived in two such pictures. One picture was of a little boy standing on his head in the sand, delighted to be on a real coral island at last, while the other was of the same little boy being hunted down like a pig by the savages the children had turned into. Now, he saw that what he had to do was join the two pictures, and then the story would start to flow naturally on its own. Now, his private memories of the book's composition, recorded in his journal, make it sound less easy. Writing it had been, as he put it, right on the edge of the impossible. He noted that he'd dredged around for conversation. It seems that though the dialogue proved difficult, the local color was pure pleasure for him. He would say, "One thing that none of the critics know is how far such enjoyment as I got from writing the book stemmed from being on a coral island, hence the elaborate description of natural phenomena." Now, in all, the first draft, with corrections and edits, of Lord of the Flies took about 3 or 4 months, but there would be additional changes and rewrites once a publisher got involved. Quote, "What are we? Humans or animals? Or savages?" End quote.